Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, the latest on the auto workers strike. President Biden preparing to join the workers on the picket line. And the new scam targeting people who have to start paying back their student loans. How you can protect yourself. You'll see those stories and so much more right here on GMA.
Holy.
I will tell you, I've never seen anything like it.
Holy. Is the craziest I think I've ever seen.
Everything okay?
$11 million? What are you gonna do? Get a Ferrari? What the?
Oh, language. The baby's here.
Dumb money sets up the GameStop stock drama as a clear battle between everyday retail investors and their well-heeled counterparts.
Wall Street is betting that this company is going to fail. But if it fails, these hedge fund people make a ton of money.
My 24-year-old son was living with us, and he was involved in Wall Street bets. So I got to live vicariously through him. I saw this wild ride that was happening, the intensity of it.
Babe, how much did we make today?
$5 million.
How much did we lose today?
$1 billion.
And yesterday?
$4 million.
And yesterday?
$1 billion.
It was just a visceral ride. And that intensity, that emotion, is what I wanted to capture in the film.
You got rich dudes pissing in their pants right now. They're coming after you.
We need to talk about the GameStop situation. Retail traders always lose.
The writer-producers say it wasn't just about the money.
We spent all this time on Wall Street Bets and watching these TikToks and seeing the joy people felt in, that buying the stock actually made them feel part of something.
And you don't need to be a stock market whiz to understand the movie.
It's about regular people who feel small, who feel marginalized, who feel isolated, who feel powerless, and who are angry, frustrated, screaming at the heavens about the terrible unfairness in the world today.
You've been served.
Wall Street cheated. Surprise, surprise.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
United Way in Bexar County still teaming up to cool people down with free Fox fans. Project Cool has provided seniors and people with disabilities fans for months now. There's not much time left if you still need one. You have until September 30th. Just call United Way Help Hotline at 211 to schedule that delivery directly to your home. Can you believe the month of September is already ready to come to a close? And that means it's going to start looking a little bit more like fall, especially at the San Antonio Pumpkin Festival. It's a celebration that'll run Thursdays through Sundays from September 28th through October 29th on Broadway, not far from the Pearl. The party will have train rides, a corn maze, and of course, pumpkin carving. You can read more about it right now on our website at ksat.com. Well, last night, Pink and the Beach Boys concerts caused a headache for some drivers downtown, but it's not over yet. Yeah, you can get around tonight's Guns N' Roses concert here in San Antonio. And up next, the price tag going up to keep your current vehicle moving. Why it's happening now, why one local shop says it could get worse before it gets better. And checking TransGuide right now, 35 at Space Center running much better than it was just over an hour ago. There's 90 at General McMullen and 35 at San Marcos. We'll be back after this. This morning on GMSA, new details on a chaotic Monday morning at a local high school. The charges the person behind it could be facing after making false threats. Plus,
President Biden joined striking UAW members on the picket line. I'm Mike Ajachi reporting in Washington. Coming up, how the union continues to pressure the car companies.
And here at home, let's look out there with live cam starting at 76 degrees. Not too bad, but it's fall, y'all. Just doesn't feel like it quite yet.
Live from KSAT 12. Good morning, San Antonio starts right now.
Rise and shine. Good morning, everybody. It is 6 o'clock on your Tuesday. It is September 26th.
Yay, we made it to Tuesday. I know it might be a tough day for some people, but we're still moving along during the week, and we're still hoping that we'll have some kind of change maybe next week or somewhere in the near future.
All we can do is hope at this point. Justin is in for Mike, and he joins us now with an update on how our Tuesday is shaping up, even though it's still pretty darn early out there.
Yeah. Maybe we should just bank on 2024 at this point. Just get into next year. I don't know. No, we're going to stay positive. There will be some fall-like weather somewhere down the line, just not in the immediate forecast. It's definitely not a sit on your back porch, have some coffee type of morning. It's warm and humid out there. Some of us did get rain yesterday. We could see the storms. I could see the storms. I didn't get any in my house, but this was A beautiful picture from south side of San Antonio yesterday, looking towards downtown. You can see the big billowing clouds here. They did produce some rain. We picked up about 4/10 of an inch right around downtown San Antonio. And I'll show you some of those rainfall totals coming up here in just a bit. 9 a.m., 78 degrees. As you head out to lunch today, 86. It'll be mostly sunny. I think we could see a shower or two, maybe a storm this afternoon. There's a small chance of that. Temperatures will make their way up to around 95 or so for a high. So a little cooler than yesterday, but not by much. And I do want to remind you, we're just 18 days away now from our annular solar eclipse. We're going to see the Ring of Fire here in San Antonio. It's going to be pretty cool. The moon moves right in front of the sun. You still got to use those glasses to see it, but it will be an awesome sight to see. And of course, we have the total solar eclipse coming up next year in April. So a lot going on. At least when we're talking space weather here. Let's toss it over to Stephen now and talk traffic. How are things looking there? Any improvements?
So we'll actually do have some improvements here, Justin. We're seeing that traffic moving along 410 Ingram North without any trouble. But as we get closer to that morning rush, we are going to see a little bit more traffic and some minor problems, hopefully. But you can see right there, US 90 eastbound at Couples Road. It's pretty minor, a stalled vehicle there. And just make sure to watch out, move over or slow down if you see those emergency lights or flashing lights out there, and check your vehicles before you get moving this morning. I haven't seen a whole lot else take place out on the roadways. Of course, we did start our newscast off with some bumps along the road along 35 southbound at Space Center. That crash is already cleared out, and as drivers are waking up and getting the day started, they won't encounter any problems. But again, just be safe out there. If your travel times are going to take you right here to the Alamo City, well, here they are. 37 northbound is still pretty pleasant from Pleasanton with 27 minutes. 28 along US 90 eastbound if you are heading in from Castroville, and that arrival from Lytle along 35 northbound should be 17 minutes. So nothing out of the ordinary here, but we'll keep watching things closely, and I'll be back with another traffic update in the next 15 minutes, guys.
Thank you, Stephen. A man is in jail this morning after a scary scene at a downtown restaurant that was hosting a rap concert. Now, San Antonio police say a man fired several shots into the air at Smoke Barbecue on East Crockett Street. Now, no one was hurt. However, police officers arrested James Alvarado after it happened on Sunday around 2:30 a.m. Restaurant security stopped Alvarado and held him until police got there. He is charged with unlawfully carrying a weapon and for being a felon in possession of a firearm. Now, court records show that he is actually on probation for a weapon charge from last year.
The Bexar County Sheriff's Office says a disturbance at East Central High School Monday morning might have been a hoax. However, it still caused a lockdown and panic from parents. This was the scene yesterday morning. The District Police Department received a call shortly before classes started naming a particular student, and in the background of that call were apparent gunshots. Officers from several agencies searched the campus yesterday and found nothing, but concern from parents and students was quite real.
We're just scared as parents. Given everything that's happened, it was kind of scary.
At first I thought it was a joke, and then my sister texted me that it was like an actual thing, and I was like, all right, we gotta be quiet and be serious.
No one could blame them for feeling that way. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office later said it seems the call came from outside the U.S. and was meant to cause panic. Now, the student who was named in the call was detained but was released when BCSO realized he was the victim of what's called swatting. That's when a prank call activates law enforcement to a fake crime scene. Sheriff's Office says making a hoax call like this would get someone charged with making a felony terroristic threat.
To see all the migrants asking for money, asking for food. I don't know that this situation is going to get better anytime soon.
This morning, the crisis at the southern border is reaching a breaking point in some cities.
Now Mexico is promising to help ease the migration situation in the U.S.
As part of an agreement with U.S. immigration, Mexico says it will deport certain immigrants, or migrants rather, from its border cities and return them to their home countries.
Right now, it's not clear when the deportations will begin or how long they will last. The move comes as El Paso is seeing large numbers of people living on the streets because there are not enough shelters. City officials there are working on getting more space and resources to handle the influx of migrants.
In your other morning headlines, the United Auto Workers strike continues to grow. Members have now expanded that strike to over 20 states.
As ABC's Ike Ajachi reports, President Biden is planning to join the picket line today in Michigan.
We are the union!
This morning, it's day 12 of the United Auto Workers union strike against the big three U.S. car manufacturers, General Motors, Chrysler Stellantis, and Ford. In his strongest move of support yet, President Biden planning to punctuate his vocal support for auto workers today in Michigan by joining members on the picket line, a move many believe to be a first for a sitting president in living memory.
They give everything from their pensions on, and they save the automobile industry.
Former President Trump will bring his own message to a crowd of union members on Wednesday. Members of the union are demanding a 40% increase in wages and stronger benefits.
If you take a look at the significant increase in salaries for the executives and growth of the industry, they should benefit from it.
The most recent SEC filings show all of the big three CEOs earned more than $20 million last year, with GM CEO Mary Barra topping the list at $29 million. The three CEOs earned around 300 times what the average employee earns, according to the Wall Street Journal.
Nobody wants to be out here. We want to be in there working. We want to be, getting parts to our customers and to the dealers. But it comes to a point where you had to draw a line in the sand.
On Friday, Union President Shawn Fain announcing their strike expanded to dozens of more GM and Chrysler Stellantis factories across 20 states. 13% of the union's 146,000 members are now on the picket lines. Ford, however, has been spared. Fain saying Ford is showing that they're serious about reaching a deal. In a statement, Ford saying there's still significant gaps to close on key economic issues. As President Biden makes his way to Michigan today, the White House insists that the details of any deal should be left up to the negotiating parties. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
In other headlines, New Jersey U.S. Senator Bob Menendez is facing more pressure to step down after being charged with bribery and selling state secrets to Egypt. He and his wife are both charged with taking bribes to help local businessmen fend off criminal investigations. Gold bars and nearly $500,000 in cash was found in his home, including all those bills stuffed in a jacket embroidered with his name on it. Fellow U.S. senators are calling on him to quit, but Menendez remains defiant.
I firmly believe that when all the facts are presented, not only will I be exonerated, but I still will be the New Jersey's senior senator.
Menendez has already been forced to give up his role as chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. He and his wife and 3 others are due in court tomorrow. If convicted, he could face 45 years in prison.
Looking ahead, one of the biggest political fights of the year has been scheduled. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis will face off against a man who could be considered his political opposite, California Governor Gavin Newsom. Their 90-minute debate will be moderated by Sean Hannity on Fox News in November. But before the governors square off, 7 GOP candidates are prepping for tomorrow night's primary debate at the Reagan Library in California. Former President Donald Trump is once again skipping this debate and will instead speak to striking auto workers in Detroit.
609, 75 degrees.
And still to come, Super Bowl champion NFL star Travis Kelce taking the world by storm after this weekend, why an appearance from Taylor Swift has his jersey selling out online.
And after the break, the price tag going up to keep your current vehicle moving, why it's happening now, and why one shop in town says it could get worse.
And let's look out there with live cam. If we can just hope for at least some cloud cover if there's a tiny chance of rain out there for some of our people in our viewing area. We'll be right back.
6:13, if you've had to shell out more money than usual for recent car repairs, you are not alone.
Prices at the body shop are soaring due to things like supply chain issues, inflation, and a lack of technicians. Manuel Rubio is the CEO of Miracle Body and Paint here in town, and he says those factors have driven the price of parts up 15%. And the United Auto Workers strike isn't helping either.
If we don't resolve this by the end of October, we are going to have some serious issues concerning parts.
Rubio says for now, he just hopes customers remain patient and understand the hurdles that they're having to overcome to get vehicles back on the road.
It's exactly 6:14.
Let's check back with our Stephen Cavazos.
All right, things are moving still, guys. No other issues that I've seen that would slow folks down. There's 410 at Fredericksburg, but it's getting busier. You can see it right behind me in both the east and westbound lanes, and there at 410 at Blanco. We have a lot more traffic than what we saw about an hour ago. As always, that's expected, but just make sure you check those vehicles. I still saw reports of this stall along US 90 eastbound at Couples. Couples, one of the busier areas in town, or 90, I should say, because a lot of folks are waking up and heading into the Alamo City. But thankfully, as we give you a wider view of our map, it is still that same story. Plenty of green out there. A crash may have popped up here on the south side, just outside of Loop 410. That's not impacting the main lanes, but I'll take a close look at that and find out what's going on there. But likely there are no TransGuide cameras that can show us the conditions. But just drive safe and plan ahead. We do have plenty of that construction taking place later today here at State Highway 16, Bandera Road. The curb and sidewalk construction will continue all the way up until Friday, September 29th. So just know that crews will be out there between 9 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. We'll see alternating lane closures in both directions from Loop 1604 to Circle A, but scan the QR code, takes you directly to our KSAT traffic page. Full list of closures, as always, is listed on our website, and it's updated each week, so it gets you in the know before you have to go. And as I was getting going this morning, remembered it was Tuesday, and I really cannot think of anything great about a Tuesday, but I did Google it. Okay. Apparently, it's like National Pancake Day today. So that does make Tuesday a little better.
About that, yeah.
National Pancake Day.
That helps some.
I'm not a pancake guy, though.
No?
I like waffles.
Waffles.
Yeah, I like waffles.
Yeah. I like them both.
Well, it's all about the texture for some people.
Oh, sure. Carbs are wonderful.
Well, yeah.
I'm all about carbs.
I like a crispy pancake. Kind of like a little toasted, not like burnt, but like just some.
Not burnt, yeah.
A pancake with character.
Yeah, one that
you don't like the fluff.
No,
I don't like fluff.
Okay, fair enough. There was some rain around yesterday. It wasn't terribly widespread. We would have liked to seen a little bit more, but there was some here in San Antonio, and we saw that here on the rainfall map. Downtown about 0.41 inches, Sutherland Springs 0.43, Livonia 0.47. So there was some. It was hit or miss. We saw some of those storms pop up around downtown. And then yesterday in the Hill Country, yesterday morning, there were some good numbers. And then down to the south and east of San Antonio, some good numbers. You see that kind of hole mostly here over Bexar County. There wasn't a lot. We would have hoped for a little bit more yesterday, just did not materialize. It was all around us, and that seems to kind of be the theme this year. Hoping for some more today. There is a chance we'll see some isolated stuff pop up. It'll be, I think, a little more isolated than yesterday. So rain chances are really kind of on the low end. But I do think we'll see some of those air mass thunderstorms during the afternoon. Those ones that just kind of bubble up. You see the clouds bubble up and then rain a little bit and then fall apart. By 9 o'clock, anything that we see out there will have gone away. By Wednesday, we'll start off quiet, and then tomorrow afternoon, I think we'll have another chance for some showers and storms as a weak disturbance moves across the area. Still nothing that's going to get us too excited here for any sort of significant rainfalls. So low rain chances next couple of days, and then beyond that, rain chances go away. So we're still stuck in this dry pattern, still very much in our drought. 76 right now, partly cloudy. Dew point is at 71. It's humid this morning. Dew points will be in the low 70s most of the morning. They'll drop off some this afternoon into the 60s, but there's still enough there to where you feel it. It's probably going to take until the weekend for those dew points to kind of drop off a little bit, where it feels a little bit better. We get some cooler mornings. I'd say Friday, Saturday, Sunday are those days where maybe the dew points come down a little bit. I know that says 66. I think it's probably lower than that. So I think we see a downward trend as we head into the weekend and early next week. With regards to humidity, we're trying to find the small positives here in the forecast. Today, 75 at 8 a.m. Noontime, we're up around 86. And then the high temperature today, 95, with just a 10% chance of a shower or a storm. It is, I think, going to be the hottest September on record here in San Antonio. So far, if it were to end today, that's where we would be. 87.4 is the average for the month. That would be enough for first place. Pretty incredible considering it was the second hottest July on record, hottest August on record, and now it looks like we're going to have the hottest September on record. So it has just been an absolutely crazy year in regards to temperatures. There will be some cooler weather, I promise. Just at this point, may hold off until October. In the tropics, we've got a couple systems we got to watch here. Tropical Storm Philippe looks a little more unorganized this morning. We've got soon to be Rina. It's not named yet, but it will be. And this system moves west. It weakens. Philippe's not going to be a big deal. Interestingly enough, once we get Rina, it will follow almost the same path as Philippe. So that's usually not good because this kicks up cooler water, probably weakens too, but it is something to watch in the coming days. Extended forecast, 95 Wednesday, 95 Thursday, 94 Friday. The weekend quiet, as I said, some lower humidity, but temperatures are consistently in the mid-90s here. This is still above average. Not exactly the way we want to end September.
No, but lower humidity will be a little helpful there at the end of the week.
Especially in the morning. I mean, you look at Monday morning down to 70. That's better.
What a treat.
What a treat.
Thank you, Justin.
Yep.
Right now, 619, 75 degrees.
Just ahead, pumpkin farmers are warning shoppers that pumpkins could be smaller and more expensive this year. We're going to look at why in your GMA First Look.
If you struggle and struggle and struggle with CPAP, you should check out Inspire. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Learn more and view important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Why do dermatologists worldwide recommend La Roche-Posay? Effective skincare like La Roche-Posay Double Repair Face Moisturizer delivers double action to help repair skin's barrier and provide 48-hour hydration for healthy-looking skin. La Roche-Posay.
Ah, it's a good day to cough. Oh, no. Bye-bye, cough.
Later chest congestion. Hello, 12 hours of relief.
12 hours? Okay, not coughing at yoga. Antiquing, not coughing. Not coughing at the movies? Hashtag still not coughing? Ah!
Mucinex DM gives you 12 hours of relief from chest congestion in any type of cough, day or night. It's not cough season. It's always comeback season.
They had no idea what they had really purchased.
Everything was in a state of dilapidation.
We did not know what this building was. We thought it was a dance hall.
Well, the history of this Wilson County fixer-upper was a bit more complicated.
If you read that marker, you would have no clue that this was a slave plantation.
And this was this house. So yeah, I got some news for her.
The uncomfortable truths and mysteries of this local mansion are streaming now on these platforms.
In this morning's GMA First Look,
Oh, great pumpkin, where are you?
finding that perfect pumpkin may be nightmarish for some this year because of the weather.
We went out probably a month ago. It's just the blooms weren't opening and we couldn't hardly find any pumpkins.
From New Jersey to Kentucky and all the way down to Texas, farmers battling a whole host of conditions, squashing those perfect pumpkin dreams.
Rain can be detrimental, especially if you pair it with the heat, because you're going to get a very humid nature. It can create disease and hinder growth very easily. They're far more susceptible to the rain damage than they are the drought. And that does create concerns about production.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll tell you when the best time to buy your gourds is. With your GMA First Look, I'm James Longman, ABC News at Happy Day Farms, New Jersey.
And your consumer headlines, big changes for ChatGPT. The AI engine can now see, hear, and speak. The company says ChatGPT can understand spoken words, respond with a synthetic voice, and process images. The updates will be rolling out to paying users in the next 2 weeks.
A new program on Reddit will let users earn extra cash. Certain Reddit users who meet requirements will receive real-world money for their contributions on the site. X, now formerly known as Twitter, recently launched a similar program, paying creators based on the impressions their posts generate.
Sony has an early holiday present for PS5 fans. Anyone who buys and activates one of the systems between now and October 20th will receive a free game. Users will receive a choice of 12 titles, including Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered.
A longtime Amazon exec is taking over Jeff Bezos' space tourism and rocket company Blue Origin. Dave Lemp will be taking over in December. The company's suborbital rocket and spacecraft New Shepard was developed to take paying customers and scientific experiments to the edge of space. Its first successful crewed spaceflight carried Bezos as one of the passengers in 2021.
Kansas City Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce trending after Taylor Swift sat in his box during Sunday's game. Swift's attendance brought an unexpected spike in Kelce jersey sales online. On Sunday, Kelce was one of the top 5 selling NFL players after a nearly 400% spike in sales across Fanatics websites. Now, Kelce and Swift are rumored to be dating, although neither have confirmed nor denied those rumors.
I heard he also gained over 300,000 new followers on social media.
Oh, very nice.
The Taylor effect.
Right, for sure.
Or the effect for her, right?
Well,
I mean, it could work out both ways, right?
I think so.
Okay. A lot of people are excited for them. 626, 75 degrees.
And still ahead at 6:30, hundreds of millions of dollars are still up for grabs after last night's Powerball drawing. How big the cash prize is now before tomorrow night's drawing.
Last night's Pink and Beach Boys concerts caused headaches for drivers in and around downtown, but it's not over yet because Guns N' Roses is in town for tonight.
And looking out there for now with TransGuide, things look good on this shot at Loop 410 at Fredericksburg, and also moving there at Loop 410 at Blanco Road. We're going to be checking in with our Stephen Cavazos very soon.
This morning on GMSA, 4 whistleblowers who were fired by Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton says their fight isn't over. What they're promising now for the near future. Plus,
just give each other strength to get through another day, you know, because nobody wants to be a part of this club.
Parents of murder victims in our community are uniting to become one voice for justice. We're going to hear from them next as they honor their loved ones.
some of you got some rain yesterday, and you're very, very lucky because most of us missed out. Justin is going to talk rain chances for today coming up.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It is September 26th.
Justin is in for Mike. Joins us now. We're talking Tuesday and some, again, very electrical storms in the last day or so.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. We had a lot of lightning and thunder with these storms. This is another vantage point of that storm last night that was just south of downtown here in San Antonio. This is from Lacoste, looking east towards that storm. Look at that lightning bolt. That's incredible. You know, these are hard to catch on camera, so I'm always impressed with the photography and the talent of the folks around here. But this was sent into our KSAT Connect, and just an incredible shot of cloud-to-ground lightning there. It was electrical. There was some good rainfall totals just south of downtown. If you were around the rest of Bexar County, maybe not so lucky. You didn't get a whole lot of rain. Our forecast today, 78 at 9 o'clock. Lunchtime, 86, and we top out near 95. Still pretty hot, but not as hot as yesterday. And there is still an opportunity for a couple showers and storms. Probably not as widespread as yesterday, but there is a chance we could see some activity on the radar late in the day. Quick check of the pollen count. This was yesterday's. Molds are high still. Fall elm, pigweed, ragweed, all there. This is a pretty typical fall pollen count. We'll see where we land today. My guess is that molds are still going to be rather elevated. We're going to look at the rest of the week's forecast, plus Del Rio, one of the hottest places in the country yesterday. We'll look at that, too, coming up in just a few minutes. But let's get over to Steven now so you can get out the door and get ready for your morning commute.
Well, Justin, thankfully, drivers won't really see a whole lot of trouble here in town. 35 at San Marcos as we get that wide view of TransGuide. You can see traffic's moving without any trouble there, even at 281 at the quarry, just getting busier. We're getting closer to morning rush, so we can expect to see a lot more of the lanes be a little bit more jam-packed, but pack your patience. Although we're not seeing problems here in town, I am seeing some reports of a possible crash here along State Highway 211 out there outside of Loop 1604, and you can see that buildup out actually just before folks arrive to US 90. So that's a pretty busy area. So watch out. There are no TransGuide cameras that can show us a direct view, but I'll get on the phone with them to see what they can do out there. But overall, the wide view of the map does show, thankfully, back here in town and for other parts of the Alamo City, we're really not going to see any delays just yet. The congestion will creep in, but as you can see at 90 at General McMullen, things are still staying pretty steady. We'll have another update on traffic coming up a little bit later on in the newscast. Mark.
Thank you, Stephen. The dream is over in more ways than one. Many people here and across the country are waking up and realizing they did not win that big Powerball jackpot.
Katrina Weber joins us live near downtown. Now, Katrina, you say the dream actually may be deferred, not dead.
Well, that's right. Even though no one won that big Powerball jackpot last night, there's still a reason to look up. In fact, 835 million reasons to look up at billboards like that one. 835 million is the new big jackpot that's up for grabs in Wednesday night's Powerball drawing. Now, chances are people will be scrambling to buy tickets just as they were for that big jackpot last night, 794 million. Now, Wednesday night's jackpot will be the fourth largest in Powerball history. At 835 million, it's nowhere close to the top jackpot of all time. That was a little more than $2 billion last November, but that's still a lot of money with a lot of dreams attached to it. Now, there has to be at least one person here in Texas who is waking up a bit happy this morning. That person matched 4 of the numbers along with the Powerball last night for a prize of $50,000. But again, that's still a lot of money as far as I'm concerned. I don't know about you guys, but I plan to buy my tickets for Wednesday night's drawing. Reporting live near downtown, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Yeah, Kat, $50K is still a nice chunk of change. Thank you very much for that report. On to other news this morning. 4 whistleblowers who were fired by Attorney General Ken Paxton say their legal battle isn't over yet. Those former top deputies dismissed after making reports to the FBI about alleged actions taken by Paxton for the benefit of an Austin area real estate developer. Paxton was acquitted earlier this month in a Texas Senate impeachment trial. Blake Brickman, who served as Deputy Attorney General for Policy and Strategy under Paxton, shared harsh words for Paxton and defense attorney Tony Busby. Brickman also saying the battle ahead is about truth and justice.
The idea that Tony Busby or Ken Paxton think that the top 8 people in his agency going and sitting around a round table at the FBI and telling them their first-person accounts is not evidence is proof of how absurd Paxton's point was in this whole trial. And what he did to my colleagues was shameful, and Tony Busby should be ashamed of himself. He's a disgrace.
In response, lawyers at the Attorney General's office are asking the Texas Supreme Court to keep the case in abatement or halted for 2 more years.
San Antonio parents united by the tragic murders of their sons and daughters showed up to remember their loved ones at an event at University Methodist Church last night. Families tell us that while a senseless murder takes one life, they have affected countless others and generations of lives. It's a grief that no one else can understand unless you've lived it. And the pain they feel will never leave them.
Keep your faith going, and that's what I do every morning. You know, that's what gets me out of bed, my faith in God. He gives me the strength to do it every single day.
San Antonio Police and Bexar County Sheriff's investigators also attended to encourage families to continue to be a voice for their loved ones' unsolved murders. Since the start of 2023, the San Antonio Police Department has investigated 125 murders. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office has investigated 8 this year.
The search for an interim school board trustee continues in the Northeast Independent School District here in San Antonio. Last night, board members voted to hold 4 more interviews for its open District 2 seat. The previous trustee, Terry Williams, died in August. Williams served as the board's vice president. She would have been up for re-election in 2026. District 2 represented on this NEISD map in yellow. It consists of NEISD's southeastern region, just east of I-35 and Austin Highway from Topperwine down to Fort Sam Houston. Trustees began interviewing 8 candidates earlier this month. It's not clear when the board can make a final decision. Whoever is appointed will serve as the interim District 2 trustee until the May election.
Happening today, if you missed your chance to speak with Bexar County's top leader about issues that you care about most, well, you have another chance. Judge Peter Sakai has invited the community to attend the second of his 4 community conversations at the Will W. Jackson Community Hall on the city's northeast side. That meeting is set to start at 5:30 this evening, and you can find the dates for the remaining meetings on our website at ksat.com.
Looking ahead, after a busy night last night for concerts in the Alamo City with Pink and the Beach Boys in town, Guns N' Roses is expected to have fans flocking to the Alamo Dome tonight. Dome officials are advising you to take advantage of Via Park and Ride. Via rides to the Dome start at 4:30 p.m. will run till 1 hour after the concert ends. The cost is $1.30 each way. What a bargain. And here's a reminder, the Dome has a clear bag policy in effect. For more info on closures, parking, Via Park and Ride, and that clear bag policy, head on over to ksat.com.
Also on ksat.com, Goodwill San Antonio is hosting a mega career fair with over 45 employers looking to hire over 1,500 positions. The event will be tomorrow, that's September 27th. That'll be from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. on East Commerce Street. That's near the Frostbank Center. So officials tell us that most positions start at $15 an hour. Employers at the fair include Goodwill San Antonio, Amazon, the City of San Antonio, Marriott International, and Zachary Construction.
And before we go to break, we're almost to October. That means there are plenty of things to do for fall and spooky season. That includes haunted houses, pumpkin patches, and the Barbacoa and Big Red Festival. You can find a list of fall time favorites right now on ksat.com.
A lot of options right now. time now, 6:38 and 75 degrees for now.
Just ahead, an urgent warning for parents about where their baby sleeps, why experts say it could be the difference between life and death.
Streaming now.
We're about $500 to $600 a month on water usage.
Their water bill more than doubled from 1 month to the next after a pipe sprung a leak.
We had a break. The ground movement happens all over San Antonio. A few weeks later, we get a bill in the mail for 1 million gallons of water, $15,580.
That's just ridiculous.
They've been bullying us, intimidating us.
Now SAWS says it's time to pay up or have the water shut off. KSAT investigates the water company's policies on outrageously high bills.
Streaming now on these platforms.
6:43, welcome back. As September wraps up this week, the Consumer Product Safety Commission is sharing ways to keep your baby safe when they sleep.
KSAT 12 producer Haley Powers explains the do's and don'ts of infant sleep safety.
The Consumer Product Safety Commission is urging parents and caregivers to pay attention to where their baby sleeps. It could be the difference between life and death.
I think it's important to make parents aware of the kinds of hazards that they may not think about when it comes to their babies.
Some of those hazards include sleeping in incline products, baby swings, and adding a pillow or comforter to the baby's crib.
They don't have the strength to correct. They don't have the strength to roll away. And so, unfortunately, we see these are the types of environments where a baby will suffocate.
According to their latest report, about 100 babies die a year with extra bedding in their crib, and 15 die in infant products not intended for sleep.
The best place for a baby to sleep is in a crib, a bassinet, or a play yard on a firm, flat surface with only a fitted sheet.
It's also important for parents to stay up to date with any recalls that may affect a baby's sleep environment. For a look at the latest recalls, head to our website, ksat.com. Haley Powers, KSAT 12 News.
If you're out the door at 7 o'clock, you have roughly 15 minutes.
Yes, and if you're headed Highway 90, big problems over there right now. Let's check in with Stephen Cavazos.
This is just one of two problems, guys. We actually are taking a look here at US 90 at State Highway 211, where there is a backup. A crash occurred along the southbound lanes of 211, and that's a very busy spot for anyone that has to travel through that area. Just check it out behind me. We have a line of traffic out there, and we do have first responders off in the distance. And this is one of those tough shots to get from TransGuide, but you can see the flashing lights out there. It's just hard to say how many vehicles may be involved or if there's any paramedics out there. We always hope everyone's okay, but traffic just looks horrible at that time. So at this particular spot, we're going to keep a close eye on it. It's the southbound lanes as you approach US 90 from 211. But as I mentioned, it's not the only issue that I'm looking at this morning. We do have another one as we take a drive down 90. Another crash reported here along US 90 eastbound at Nogalitos. And you could see that buildup that's already taking place out there. That's a very busy spot as well, because as people are waking up and heading out the door, they're heading into the downtown area of San Antonio. So a crash like that will definitely cause bigger delays. Just be on the lookout. I'll talk to our web team and we'll get a push alert out momentarily to get you in the know before you have to go. But yeah, not a great shot here at 90 at 211. As you see, traffic is pretty much at a standstill. They're not going anywhere anytime soon, unfortunately. Doesn't look like it.
No, not at all. Thank you, Stephen.
Big holdups. Very hot.
Yes, I can honestly say as a meteorologist, we've set more records this year than I can ever remember setting. Del Rio has been setting records left and right, but yesterday had the distinction of being the hottest place in the entire country. We're talking hotter than Death Valley, hotter than Phoenix, 105 yesterday. And this year, there have been so many 105-degree days, it has been record-setting. Another record, 55 days this year, 105 or above in Del Rio. That also includes several days in which they were at 110 or above. Pretty incredible. So this blows out the old record set in 2020 where they had 31 days. Yesterday was a real scorcher. The good news here, it's going to be a little cooler today. I think we'll get highs in the mid-90s versus 105. A little bit better. We're thinking 95 here in San Antonio, 91 Fair Oaks Ranch, 96 in Bandera. A little bit cooler for San Antonio, too. A place that was up around 98 yesterday helped to spark off some showers and storms. Those storms have since dissipated. It's a quiet morning. 76 at the airport, 73 in New Braunfels, 70 in Purdy. We have dropped into the 60s now, finally, there in Kerrville, 68 degrees here, so a little more comfortable. There's some slightly drier air just to our north, but we're not feeling it here in San Antonio yet. I think we'll start to see some drier air slowly work in as we get later in the week. As we look across the country, there's not a lot to see here. It's still a pretty quiet weather pattern. We've got some showers and storms along the Gulf Coast, a little bit of rain up across the northeast, some rain around Chicago. and then a new system coming on board up across the Pacific Northwest. But all that rain really stays way up there and away from Texas. We do have some showers across deep South Texas this morning, but nothing here. And as we get into the afternoon hours, there's still a weak stationary boundary that's positioned just to the north of San Antonio. There's not much to this front, but it may be just enough to give us some lift for some showers and storms a little bit later today. So our forecast, 8 a.m., 75. Noontime, we'll go to 86. 88 at 1 o'clock, into the 90s by, say, 1, 2 o'clock, and then up around 95 for a high today. There is about a 10% chance of seeing a shower or storm during the afternoon. It'll be few and far between, but there will be some of those pop-up air mass thunderstorms. So maybe you're one of the lucky ones and you get some rain in your backyard. We'll go 10% chance today, 20% chance as we get into Wednesday, 95 Thursday. Basically, we're going to see mid-90s throughout the forecast here. I mentioned the lower humidity Friday into Saturday. Helps a little bit. We see the morning lows drop off some. We're talking the low 70s versus mid 70s, so that helps just a little bit. We're really searching for some positive news in this extended forecast, and I'd say the lower humidity is somewhat positive, but we need something more than that. We need a good cold front, and we're still looking for that. In the last 100-degree day, September 28th, that's the latest we've ever seen a 100-degree day. We're getting to that point. So I know I said last time, we're not going to hit 100 degrees again, and we did. But I really feel that way this time. We should be away from that. And hopefully we'll start to get those averages down some.
I'm questioning our relationship with Mother Nature. We asked for a cooler summer. She declined. We asked for rain to share with everyone. She declined. So either we need to break up or find another way to make this relationship work.
I agree. There needs to be some serious changes.
Right.
Look at this relationship.
I think she'll make something happen. I mean, October 1st is Sunday already, so.
Yes, but the calendar has not meant much to Mother Nature this year. That much we do know.
That is true.
Well, the group counseling continues here on GMSA. 649, 75 degrees.
Let's look out there with live cam for now. Yeah, we can handle the mid 70s for right now. That's a piece of cake. Not too bad out there. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Streaming now.
This is inhumane. This is unacceptable.
It's over 100 degrees outside, but inside the walls of Texas prisons, it's even hotter.
There are people dying in their 30s.
During the hottest part of the day, I feel dizzy, see stars, and feel like I'm going to vomit.
Do you know that the dog pounds even have air conditioner? But the state of Texas prisons don't? That's pretty sick.
Watch the full story now on these streaming platforms.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, the latest on the auto workers strike. President Biden preparing to join the workers on the picket line. And the new scam targeting people who have to start paying back their student loans. How you can protect yourself. You'll see those stories and so much more right here on GMA.
You may have noticed we have some new faces in the KSAT Sports Department. Mary Rominger and Nick Mantis have joined the KSAT Sports team and are bringing you the latest in local sports alongside Larry Ramirez.
And coming up today on GMSA at 9, Mary and Nick will join us to tell us a little bit more about themselves and how they're enjoying San Antonio so far. So join us this morning on GMSA at 9 to get to know them a little better.
Haven't met them, can't wait. Gonna get some autographs while they're here. United Way in Bexar County still teaming up with to cool people down with free box fans. Project Cool has provided seniors and people with disabilities fans all summer long, and there's not much time left if you still need one. You have until September 30th to get that free fan. That's this Saturday. Just call United Way hotline at 211 to schedule that delivery directly to your home.
Right now on KSAT.com, can you believe the month of September is almost over? Well, I mean, as far as those temperatures, yay! Well, that means it's going to start looking a lot like fall, especially at the San Antonio Pumpkin Festival. So that is a celebration that will run Thursdays through Sundays, and that is September 28th to October 29th. So this is on Broadway, not far from the Pearl. The party will have train rides, a corn maze, and of course, pumpkin carving. You can read more about it on our website at KSAT.com. Just look for the article.
Morning commute is off to a really rough start for some commuters today.
Let's check back with Stephen Cavazos.
Yeah, and it's all happening around US 90, guys. This is the big issue of the morning. We have it there at 98 State Highway 211, but that crash is actually right there in the southbound lanes of State Highway 211, and it's led to big backups. We're not even really seeing traffic move in those southbound lanes. It's pretty much stayed still. No word yet on any injuries, but we take you to our map, and we have that buildup taking place also in the westbound lanes of US 90. But don't forget, as you drive closer into town along the eastbound lanes, we do have another crash reported near Nogalitos. That is also causing some delays, but from the looks of it, it does appear to be off of the main lane. So that's the good news. But overall, we are seeing a very busy start to our Tuesday morning commute. Another reason not to like Tuesday, but it is National Dumpling Day, Justin.
Ooh.
Pancake
and dumplings?
That's what I Googled.
Wow.
We're on the same page.
But he
We're very
checked all the
excited about
boxes. You
this.
found 3 nice things to say about Tuesday.
There you go.
Good job, bro.
Yay,
All food
Stephen.
related, tacos, dumplings, and pancakes.
Oh, here you go.
Where's David Sears when you need him? All right, 95 degrees right now. 10% chance of rain today. Some isolated to stray showers and storms. We'll see that again tomorrow. The forecast here is pretty consistent other than we lose the rain chances by the end of the work weekend. Humidity comes down a little bit.
That'll be great.
It'll be nice.
We'll
Some
take
nice
that lower
mornings.
humidity. Yeah.
Yeah.
For now, until October. Right. Fingers crossed for that. Thank you, Justin.
Thanks for watching.
Have a great day. We'll see you back here at 9.
TMSI at 9 is at 9, and Good Morning America is next. What?